Hey guys, yes, it's a new setup because I just moved. So we're testing this setup out. I never recorded outside or anything, but what better video topic to go over since I just moved of moving tips for first time renters, because I learned so much over the past like 1 to 2 months just set everything up. So if you're thinking or going through the same thing, these tips could definitely help you. And of course there's going to be tons more because I'm just going to continuously learn. Basically every other minute I'm just forgetting something and learning something new. So hopefully this could help you guys out too. We're starting to settle in. It's been almost a week now. This camera's on a very unstable moving box, so if you fall down you know where you went. And we're just trying to set up right now, but I got 50 moving tips to help you guys out. I'm barely set up right now, but I want to help you guys out as much as I can, so I got everything on my phone and I'll quickly go through it. I'll leave a list of this in the description if you want to just like skim through it or anything like that. So tip number 1 is have something lined up like a job. I wouldn't recommend just like winging it. At least have a plan of what you're going to be doing. Number 2, have a great credit score. I haven't realized how many background checks people go through from a new job if you're transferring that far. Like I moved multiple states away, so it's a completely different life for me right now. But yeah, from resident checks to if you're in like an apartment complex, any landlords that credit check you, if you have any new credit lines, new jobs do that. Basically everyone, I had to go through maybe like 3-4 credit checks. Number 3 is definitely overestimate moving expenses. For whatever reason, I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably not going to be too much. It adds up quick, from furniture to just basic stuff you don't even realize exists until you need it. So overestimate for everything. Number 4 is make lists for everything that you need, because you will forget things. I moved in with my girlfriend, so we already went to the store like 3-4 times. We had a list and still forgot things on the list. You think it's really simple, it's actually not. So once you actually write things down, try to stick to the list, because you're just gonna forget things or remember them at like midnight and then you realize you got to go to the store tomorrow. Number 5 I highly recommend is utilize cashback bonuses. So I actually set up a new credit card, so I'm getting like 200 back from, who'd I use? Chase, Freedom Unlimited card. So if you spend like $500, you get $200 cash back. And I also opened up a new bank account. I'm getting $400 there. So since you're spending all this money on moving expenses, might as well get something for it. Number 6 is definitely ordering things in advance. I'd say like with furniture and everything. I mean, right now with all this stuff going on with just the sickness and all these people unemployed and everything like that, shipping has just been all over the place. So we set something up. It was expected to be shipped in like 2 weeks. It actually ended up being shipped in like 4 days. So no, there's really no planning there, but you should definitely order things ahead of time. Number 7, I'd say change your address everywhere, from your home address to all your credit card addresses to all your utility addresses to every account possible. You need to adjust your address. I know you have to go to like the post office. Apparently you have to pay for that. At least I had to. It was like $1.05. I mean, the dollar wasn't too bad, but just the extra 5 cents just ticked me off a little bit. Number 8, you have to update your insurances, from car insurances. Now if you're going to be a renter, you would need renter's insurance. And if you could bundle them, that you could actually save with auto and renters. And if you have any other type of insurance, you can bundle it and you can actually save money while you're doing that. Number 9 is setting up moving plans or situations. So if you have to use like a U-Haul, if you have to use any type of delivery truck, if you have to use, I don't want to say use because it sounds bad, but if friends or family want to help you out, that could definitely help you out during these hectic times. My family helped me during this, so I'm definitely grateful for that. And it could also save you a couple bucks that way. So try to at least plan how you're moving. Number 10 is research your area. Definitely see what stores are in the area. See like banks, see restaurants, see just things where you're living near, because you're going to be living there, so you got to get used to it. Now along the way, if you guys want to add any extra tips, of course you can in the comments section. Let other people know if you went through similar things or you're just preparing to move and rent and everything like that, because everyone's situation is different or experience is different. For me alone, I had to just travel multiple states away, and it's been crazy. So someone traveling more locally might have some different tips for you too. But number 11 is shopping everywhere, from either online to in stores. I know right now during all this illness stuff, in stores, some stores are not open, others are. You really got to see what's out there. But compare prices, compare quality, compare products that they have from Wayfair, Overstock, Target, Walmart. I got a list of things there, but my girlfriend found out about Wish. I don't know if I mentioned TJ Maxx. That's actually a really great store to get like home decor stuff there. Dollar stores if they're near you. I know someone in one of my other videos mentioned like thrift stores or Craigslist. A little bit iffy for some people, but if you want, you could always utilize that. Hopefully this outdoor situation works out. Maybe I'll do videos like this more often. Let me know if it works out for you guys. But number 13, what do we got, is use old boxes, bags, and everything to move. We used a lot of Home Depot boxes. Originally I thought you could only get them at like storage facilities, and they cost like tons of money. Home Depot, my girlfriend only got boxes for like $2 maybe. So that could definitely help you with your moving expenses. And I would definitely say you should overestimate the amount of crap that you have. Number 13, when you're signing a lease, you should definitely compare and contrast a short-term lease to a long-term lease. So if you're kind of just trying things out, seeing how things go, you should probably utilize a short-term lease versus a long-term lease. Might be more cost-effective, so it doesn't raise as much. It might be more costly for a short-term because it might have an extra fee on top of that. So it really depends on your situation, but definitely see which length lease could benefit you. Number 14 is DMV. Especially if you're going out of state, you're gonna have to change the license plates. With insurances, you have to set up like DMV appointment schedules. So like before I had Liberty Mutual, so once I go to DMV, I have to cancel my Liberty Mutual and I'm switching over to Geico. Number 15 are bring tools. Thank God my dad is a handy person and just have every tool imaginable. But I would say the minimum tool that you should bring is like a screwdriver. Because even if you order furniture, they give you crappy little things that never work. Bring a screwdriver, maybe some nails, like a hammer or something like that. Or even thumbtacks for like pictures. Number 16, you probably never heard of or never will hear of someone saying this possibly, but stretch before you move. Because I've been exhausted. My girlfriend's been exhausted for the past week because we're just moving things everywhere. You don't think you move that much, but it is, especially when you're building furniture. You're just hunched over in positions you never thought existed. You should really stretch those hammies so you don't end up being sore the next day. Number 17, I definitely recommend saving up a cash cushion. Of course, you should always have like an emergency fund, but especially when you're going into a new situation, new lifestyle, have extra money on hand. Not only for rent, but moving expenses. And I also heard someone, like, while budgeting, when you're planning something, hopefully this isn't too loud, there's a truck coming by, but when you have new rent or new expenses, try to currently live like you plan on living in the future. So if you're going to have, making numbers easy, like $1,000 rent or something like that, and you haven't moved yet, try putting away $1,000, pretending you have to pay for rent so you could kind of live a little bit easier once you're actually in that situation. Number 18 is huge, especially for apartment complexes, landlords. Know what you can and cannot do in your apartment. Know if you could hang up a TV and drill into the wall, see if you could paint, or if you cannot do anything. Some HOAs or landlords are very picky, which is completely understandable because it's their house, not yours. Just know what you can and can't do. Number 19, I'm glad we did this, is bring the first day of supplies. Because you're going to be exhausted, you just moved in. I mean, I had to drive 10 hours before like moving in, so it might be a little easier for local moves. But have like toilet paper, shampoo, and soap, hand soap, I still have to get it. Basic stuff you need for that day, because chances are you might not go out shopping that day. So just make sure you have stuff for that night. Number 20, I wish I knew before setting everything up, but I'd say organize your boxes or bags or however you're packing by room, because I kind of just put everything everywhere, wherever things fit. But when you start unboxing, if you have like all your bedroom stuff, all your bathroom stuff in one place, then you know where to bring that box once you're unpacking. Number 21, this could definitely help if you were planning on moving alone or with someone. If you actually find someone like a roommate or just someone to live with, or just a friend, you would then split that rent. So it's actually not expensive as you may plan for. Once you live with someone, then you just split it down the middle, and it kind of helps both people out. Number 22, I learned especially while getting into a new job, because I need all my documents, is bring all of your important documents. If you're more local, you might be able to go back home and retrieve them, but remember to have your driver's license, if you have a passport, tax documents, just any of those IDs you need to have with you. 23, of course, I have to mention, because I'm a finance guy, you have to calculate your new cash flow. Your things are changing, so now you have to readjust not only your income if you have a new job, but also your expenses. You have new living expenses, now you have rent, you have other things. So compare your income to your expenses and see where you are at the end of the month. Hopefully it's positive and you're not losing money every single month. Number 24, the complex I moved to actually helped me out with this one, but it's scheduling all the different utilities, from water to electricity to, what else do I have here? Internet, TV, phone, if you have that stuff. Probably no one has landlines anymore. I don't have a landline here. We just use cell phones. But all your utilities, make sure you have set up. Number 25 especially, this is for when you are looking for apartments. Do not overspend or overreach in your rent. You might think you might be able to afford something when you actually can't. So that's why before I mentioned, look at your cash flow. Don't think you could afford $1,500 for rent when you could only afford, $1,200 per rent. So if you have to downsize, look at that. This side to look at, because I moved to another state, but number 26, that's what we're on, right? Number 26 is look at your new laws in your state, but also new tax rates. That's one thing that stood out to me in my new state, is the tax, sales tax, is a little bit lower, so that definitely helped the move out. And if you're moving to a greater tax state, that's going to affect your expenses without you even realizing it. So know where you're moving. Number 27 is look at your real estate market in your area. Yeah, you're only going to be renting for now, but that should be only a short-term thing. Look at your real estate market. See if it's a decent area. See if the population is growing. See how the houses are, because probably eventually at some point you will be going into the real estate market looking at houses. I mean, at the same time with the area, if it's a trash area, you might not want to live there. So look at the actual location you're moving to, which would then leave us to number 28, which is renting isn't always a bad thing. By the way, I know I was in that camp. I'm why would I ever rent that's giving money to someone else, and I just lose that. I don't have anything at the end. Overall, I still agree with that. However, in the short term, it's not bad, especially when you're just trying things out in the short term. You want to see how maybe 6 months go, or a year, or you're planning on saving for a house in a year or two. I think renting starts becoming a little iffy, maybe greater than 2-3 years, because eventually, that's still true. You don't own anything at the end of it. Renting should kind of be more of a short-term thing. Number 29 is look at your TV situation. If you have to, everyone has a TV, you have to look at it. Whether you're bringing yours, if you have a roommate, or whoever you're living with, if they're bringing theirs, make sure that doesn't break or bend in half while you're moving it, or if you actually have to buy that when you move. Number 30 was a big one for us, is look at your bed situation. My girlfriend has a queen size bed, so we needed to get a certain moving container to fit that queen size bed. So if you're gonna bring your bed, you have to look at that. So you have to kind of base your delivery or moving options off of that. Or if you're just going to simply buy a new one when you're moving, then you don't have to worry about anything. Number 31 is what I was talking about before, about like see your different expenses. Compare different apartments. You know, look at different areas. Maybe if you want a complex, if you like the amenities or anything like that, or a basement because it could be cheaper. Different landlords, different states. Really keep your options open and see, you know, if you could afford one versus another, and compare if you like one over the other. Number 32, I didn't realize was this important until I lived it, which was look at your pots and pans situation. You don't realize what kind of things you actually need. So you definitely need them. Number 33 would be garbage bags, because especially during moving, but you also just need to throw out everything, especially when you're unpacking, so you need garbage bags. You think it's so simple, they're gonna be more important than you think. Number 34 is, especially if you're in a complex or with a landlord, ask a lot of questions, because they just keep popping up, especially, well, there's just so many aspects during the moving process. So if you have a question, just bring it up and don't feel like you're being a burden to them. So yeah, just ask your complex or landlord of any questions. Don't feel like you're a burden to them, because I learned that it actually helps them along the way, because it's just constant communication, so everyone's on the same page. Number 35, I'd say have an exit strategy. So don't just go into an apartment and think you're gonna live there forever, even if you might, you know, you never know, but you should always have an exit strategy. If you're possibly gonna move in 2 years, start saving up for a house, or looking for another job in a little bit, so know where you're headed. Number 36 is know if the place is actually pet friendly. Some places don't allow you to have pets. Sometimes you have to have an extra security deposit because pets are damaging. So really understand what their rules are. Number 37, with complexes, which is where I am, is look at the amenities that you're going to be having. See if they're worth it, if you're going to use them, if like their cost, and then again you could compare them to other amenities in other areas, like if they have a gym, if they have a pool, and everything like that. Number 38, I think is kind of overlooked a lot, unfortunately, is where you're moving, especially if you're out of state or even out of country. I don't know how you deal with that. That's a big move. But look at your job market. You're going to be living in a new area, so make sure there are jobs there, but not only jobs that you could actually go for and end up getting. You can't just go to somewhere where there's no jobs around and you're like, well, can't get a job here, and you just end up going into the ground because you have no money to pay for rent. Number 39, especially for first-time renters, don't think it's impossible, because I was in this process for 2 months, which isn't that long, and I moved 5 states away, and I was able to do that in 2 months. So I still think that's crazy. I'm here. It ended up working out so far, so don't think anything's impossible. Keep your mind open. Number 40, we're getting there. Hopefully this is helping out a lot of people out there, because I didn't know half of these things, so this is a huge time, especially for you new guys. So number 40 is an easy pass, especially if you're moving out of state, or if you're just driving somewhere through highways. You're going to need an easy pass registered to your vehicle, and just have that set up so you don't have to worry about that, or having like cash for tolls. Number 41, especially right now, we're all utilizing virtual basically everything. So we did that with virtual walkthroughs with the apartment. Also with interviews, there's a lot of just virtual interviewing, which could then just lead us to number 42 is Google Maps. You could look down street views, you could see stores in the area, look at the place there, the distance from everywhere. So definitely check that out. Number 43 I had to include, just because I like food, have backup snacks, because you're probably not going to have a lot of things in the house or the apartment or whatever. So just have little things to munch on, quick food options, and have some quick recipes ready. So when you're going to the store and buying food, just being able to prepare something pretty quick when you need to. Number 44 is great for organization, is to utilize your calendar on your phone, or if you actually have a physical calendar, have everything dated from when your rent's due, certain bills, certain payments, when you have to do certain things, just anything, have it organized. Like, list it out which day something has to be done. There's just going to be so many things going on. You should really write it down so you know what to do. Number 45 I had to do because I've been going through a lot of things with my new job, and hopefully things, they seem to be going pretty smoothly. I'm starting Monday, so wish me luck. But is let jobs know exactly what you're planning on doing and what you're doing. Have constant communication, like we said before, with like the complex or the landowner. Let them know what you're doing. Don't have them questioning why you're doing something, because then that's just bad for you. You look bad. So let them know exactly when you're moving, what you're planning, when you could start, so everyone's on the same page. Number 46, like, very, very important. No one really mention it, is sleep. You need a minimum, absolute minimum of 7 hours of sleep. Especially, you're just doing so much, from building furniture to moving to dealing with all the new stuff going on. So you need your sleep or you're just gonna be dead. So definitely recommend like 7 to 8, which you should get every day anyway, but especially right now. Number 47 I had to include because I dealt with this and I felt like kind of idiot, but if you're moving with a trailer or any type of truck that you need to tow, you need a truck that could actually tow. For whatever reason, I'm not used to this. So for whatever reason, I thought any car could tow. No, I'm dumb. No, not many cars could actually tow. You need a certain attachment to the vehicle. Certain cars need like a ball hitch. I tried to use like a rental car to just drive down here to tow the trailer. Some car rental companies don't have that actual that towing package. I'm still getting deliveries, guys. I just got like 3 more packages. Hopefully that's the last of it for a little bit. But number 48 I had to mention because I just actually bought it yesterday. Especially if you're more business work, like suits and like nice clothes, make sure you have an iron to actually iron them, so you can actually look nice and you don't show up like a slob with all wrinkles and everything first day on your job. Make sure you have that. Number 49, we're getting toward the end, guys. Hopefully this helped you out a lot. I just unloaded my brain all into these 50 tips just because I learned so much during this whole thing. But number 49 is, it's going to be a lot of upfront capital in the beginning. I just want to reiterate that. Like, you might not think that you need much, but just all these little things just add up to could be like hundreds of dollars. And that's why you really got to utilize like cost effectiveness, find like cheaper stores, not necessarily cheaper quality, but you know, make sure if you could save a buck, because you're going to be ordering a lot of stuff. So realize in the beginning you're going to be spending a lot, which is why I opened up a new credit card to get some cash back. Last but not least, number 50 is I would highly recommend, you would need at least a week to settle in to your new place. You definitely need a week. Some jobs are like, oh, could you start like that Monday, because we were moving in on a weekend. I'm like, not really. Then when we started moving in, we realized how much stuff and crap you have to set up. You need so much more time than you think, and you know, so you have to set everything up. You got to eat in between, you got to sleep. Set up a solid week to get moved in and ready for your new life. So hopefully these tips helped you out, guys. There's probably hundreds of more out there. I'm still learning every single day, almost every other minute at this point. I might do more videos like this. Let me know how the outside thing looks. I know this is a longer video. I tried to keep it quick for all these tips and everything. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Welcome to the new setup, new apartment for the time being. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I haven't forgotten about you guys. You know, there's still a lot of stuff going on with unemployment and businesses going on out there. A lot of people need to save more money because there's less jobs, unfortunately. There's so much stuff going on, and I want to help you not only understand it, but help you guys through these tough times. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck moving in.